Yeah.
All right. So the website. What we talked about kind of what we look at on the website, building out the sitemap, but really when it comes to, the content and figuring out how to properly set up a page, right? One thing I always say is SEO is one thing, but we also want to write that content to convert that person.
Right.
Because obviously we want to get to the person to the website. But there used to be SEO, when we started, and it's really kind of moving away from this now, especially with kind of Google taking a hard stance against AI written content. But, six, five, even 4 years ago, I remember there was one company here in St. Louis that a lot of the companies they worked for ranked really well.
Mhm.
But you'd go to the website and it was literally just hammered. It was just keywords.
Yeah.
Right. It was just services. And you'd read it and it's unreadable.
Yeah.
It's literally
It's
unreadable.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's just literally just, listing out the keywords, being like, we are the best foundation repair company in St. Louis. Call us now for your free foundation repair quote. Foundation repair in every sentence. It's just like no one can read this. It's terrible.
No.
So what is your thought on how do you create just one page
Mm-hmm.
with SEO in mind? What's the best way to do that?
So to go back to your point, originally, it was to try to get, at one time, try to get as many keywords as you could in the copy.
Yep.
Then it slowly switched to, okay, copywriting is becoming more important.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's got to sound more natural, but you can still fit those keywords in. Now, with all the algorithm updates and everything Google's doing, copywriting is just so important. And even that shorter form copy, that fitting those keywords in and making everything sound awkward how it used to, it's really just not as important as it was.
Yep.
Maybe having those in your headings, having it maybe every once in a while. The goal right now is Google is really moving towards user usability, essentially. So when I'm structuring a page, it kind of just goes back to kind of what you're taught with basic copywriting. Keep it short, keep it interesting, and take your reader on a journey to convert.
Yeah.
Give them all the information they need. Have that introduction to lock them in. Give them a little information about the business, how we can help. Signs for different things. Show them authority, reviews.
Yep.
And then try to close it, call to action.
Yep.
So
couldn't have said it better myself. So building out pages on the website, important, ranking important, and then obviously converting important.
Yep.
Okay, so you have your Google business profile, you have citations, you have some research, you have your website set up. Now it's time to work on it ongoing on SEO. So, of course, like I was saying before, you have a website that's been set up for a while. At some point, you're going to have to go back through the old pages, right? Update that stuff with copy, because the way people search changes and the way that Google obviously reads your website changes.
Yeah.
So eventually we're going to have to go back and update it. And, maybe not every year, every 2 years, but if you work with a company long enough which hopefully you are with SEO, eventually 5 years down the road, maybe something you wrote about has also changed. So it's like, the best way to fix a toilet, for example, and you're a plumber, well, all of a sudden, that way that we wrote about 5 years ago is no longer the best way. So then obviously we have to go back and change that stuff. Getting backlinks. There's one thing I really haven't, I went through backlinks and I talked about it on an episode here, but if you kind of want to take us through the journey of ongoing, how do we do it at Vi with creating new content, backlinks, posting on the Google business profile, things like that?
Yeah. Kind of like you said, it starts with just creating content. Blog posting may seem a little, for some business owners, when they hear blog posting, they're like, okay, how is this going to help me convert? Well, the main goal is to, rank for those keywords, provide information for people searching, and then you get users to the site. A huge ranking factor for Google now is the more users you get to the site, the longer they stay on, everything like that. It just builds more authority. It helps with your rankings. And then kind of one of another hidden thing with the blog posting is just interlinking also.
Yep.
So interlinking, unlike backlinking, is when you link between pages on your site, link between other content, everything like that. But with that great content, you get the opportunity for other people who are creating similar content to link to yours.
Yep.
It's a big way we get backlinks to the website, um, essentially organically. And then another big one, which I'm not sure if you talked about yet, is just kind of like that local sponsorships and just building local PR essentially.
Yep.
To show your service area and then just show you're really a part of it.
So ongoing SEO, when we're looking at really what to measure when it comes to SEO, what should a marketing company, obviously a marketing company, for example, we provide, obviously Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and have that stuff set up. We also build out a dashboard that takes all of that data and moves it into an easy way really to view that and digest that data, not only for our clients, but really for ourselves as well. Because if you're familiar with those programs, they really are a pain in the ass to sometimes figure out how to adjust different values or filters to get to the information you actually want.
Yeah.
So what do you take a look at? What are you looking at when we're working at SEO to make sure we're moving in the right direction?
Yeah. So first thing first, I just take note of all our main keywords. What are we trying to rank for? What are those money keywords? And then kind of how are we doing? Are we still showing up? Is Google still reporting it? What direction are we moving in? Everything like that. Then, how many visitors are we getting to the website? Is it something that we are seeing is growing every month? And if it's not growing, our impressions,
Yep.
Are those going up? Are we still getting exposure? And maybe it's just our keyword position is kind of stuck. So kind of looking at all that, making sure we see a consistent growth over time. Because more impressions you get, obviously more keywords coming into the site,
Yep.
better opportunities for exposure. And then obviously everybody wants more site visitors.
Yep.
Obviously the local, the better for local service businesses, but for that content you want it to, just to help that grow also.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So we talked about SEO. If you guys want to know more, leave a comment. If we talked about something you want to know more about or didn't talk about something, let us know. Curious though, did you see the FTC chair? Lena Khan, I think is her name. Anyone? Lena Khan?
No.
FTC chair? She's killing it. She's the one that got rid of non-competes, but she just, I think, enacted like 4 days ago saying that fake or AI-generated reviews are illegal now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I know.
Yeah.
We hate at Vi Media fake reviews.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I always advise against it. We get that question, I wouldn't say all the time, but maybe 1 in every 10 or so clients.
I would say once a month.
Really?
Yeah, I get that question.
Well, yeah. They always ask about it, and it's a hard no for me.
Absolutely.
It's just not worth the risk. You get that listing suspended, and then you're just out of luck.
Well, we just went through that process. We had a listing that Google wouldn't put back up after we they didn't have access to it, right?
Okay.
So they didn't have access to the listing, so we got access to the listing, and then they took the listing down for like 2 weeks.
Wow, okay.
As they investigated it and then finally put it back up. But that was the company I was talking about earlier that we set up the address and everything for them, but for 2 weeks during arguably a good time to make money for that business, it was the worst thing ever. Yeah. And there was nothing we could do about it. And, we were emailing Google every day being like, hey.
Customer support is terrible now.
Yeah, they don't care.
It takes forever. They have millions of businesses they're working with.
Yeah, they're like, we know how important the Google business profile is to your business. It's like this should take like an AI person 1 second to look at and just be like, you're good.
Yeah.
So it's insane. But I'm glad about that FTC thing with fake reviews. That was awesome news, and I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. And the other thing that I meant to ask you about is with the AI content now that pulls up on Google, Vi is showing up for that in St. Louis, and people
showing up like if you search Vi.
Yeah, no, like best digital marketing company, things like that.
Okay.
Especially if you're in Maryland Heights, because that's where we're at. It's pulling information from our website and showing it as an answer, as one of the companies that it recommends. And the thing I'll say there is people always ask, how do you rank there? And really, it just goes back to providing valuable content, again, that ranks
Mhm.
or that has the keywords that people are searching for. But number two is actually answering and giving valuable information, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll notice, or at least I've noticed that a lot of those AI answers, if you click on those websites, it's usually a pretty in-depth answer.
Yeah.
It's not someone just like an FAQ page of like one sentence.
No, they wanna provide as much detail as possible because 1, they want you to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But 2, they're gonna really look at who's an expert?
Yep.
Because we wanna make sure that we're providing them with the absolute best answer.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna essentially take who has the best SEO.
Yeah.
That's what it's been showing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we also notice companies that like rank really well just for like one blog on their website.
Yep.
And that one blog generates 95% of the traffic to their site.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when that happens. Even if you're giving valuable information to them and, only, maybe even 95% of those people of that 95% aren't ever going to become a client, but maybe they will in the future.
Yep.
Because they know that now you're an expert in whatever you were talking about. So if it was my air conditioning filter, right,
Mhm.
for example, how do I change this out? Great. A St. Louis company has an article about it. They wrote about it. And not only that, they have a video on YouTube. Great. Perfect.
Right.
And, obviously they watch that. And let's just say, for example, there's an issue with the filter or there's an issue with the machine.
Yeah.
Now they're already on that person's website. They already know about them. Of course, more likely than not, they're going to call them and reach out to them to book an appointment, right? Or in the future, hopefully they remember that time that they went to that website page, got that information, and then they look them up in the future. Or that company is running Google Ads or just ranks really well in SEO, and they're just searching whatever air
Mhm.
conditioning company, and they're like, oh shit, that's right. I remember I read that article about them. They helped me out with my filter, 3 years ago, whatever it was.
Exactly.
So it's all about building, brand awareness, especially as well, which really we don't talk about a lot at Vi, I should say, because we do all for social and content, but really our biggest thing the whole time we've been pretty much in business is return on investment through people already searching for what you do.
Right.
There's already people searching for what you do. Just make sure you're getting in front of those people and get that business.
Mhm.
Why worry about generating, a social media ad with someone that may or may not have an issue? There's already people searching for issues that you could fix right now. Just go after them. But obviously you know, that's a small part of the bucket, right? Obviously, if we want to look at it from a standpoint of being in business for 5, 10, 20, 50 years, we need to look at other avenues to maybe the return on investment isn't as good on the other side, but what we're looking at it from a brand standpoint, and we've had companies that their cost per lead through ads is like half of what another competitor would be just because of their brand name.
Yeah, I mean, it goes hand in hand in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You're always gonna have those brands that you see, all over the internet with their ad, and it's just to get their name out there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always the ones who stick is who you think of first. Um, Especially while you're doing a Google search.
Yep.
If you see them in those results, you're like, oh yeah, let me call them. I know them. I
Mhm.
trust them.
Yep.
Even though you may have never worked with them.
Exactly.
So
Just by having that valuable content on the website. That's all I got. Anything else? Closing statement, closing remarks? Any
um,
tips, tricks you got?
tips and tricks. Just keep doing the basics. With SEO, it's a lot. It's
It
a long
is.
list of things you have to keep track of and make sure you're doing in your checklist. Um, but we always say it's a marathon and not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely a marathon.
Yep.
Especially all these Google updates, changes that are made, competitors doing SEO. It's a constant, just roller coaster.
Yep.
So
Yep. So make sure you have that stuff set up. If you have, again, any questions, anything you guys want to learn more about, please leave it in the comments. As always, this was another Marketing Monday episode sponsored by the best damn marketing company on the planet, Vi Media. If you want to talk to yours truly here, Zach across the table, if we're going to be working on SEO, the other team members we've had on this podcast, on this Marketing Monday episode, I should say, please reach out to us at vi.media. If we get a couple more people to reach out to us, maybe we'll just splurge on the vimedia.com. But at this point, we'll have to.
It's too late now.
We'll
From
have
an
to,
SEO point, it's too late.
you're right. You're right. Damn it. Vi.media. There we're at. Thank you all for listening. And as always, like, review, subscribe, leave a comment, share with the business owner, share with the marketing executive. We appreciate everyone's support, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.